Hello everyone, I will show you Elvis Presley's and Austin Butler's horoscope today that can reveal some details about their amazing synchronicities. How can Austin Butler represent Elvis' legacy as an actor and an incarnated human being? The horoscope just goes forward after finishing a human life, it never stops. And we can reveal some phenomena in Elvis' natal chart as well. Because there are no coincidences, just only synchronicities. Elvis Aaron Presley, the king of rock and roll, the American singer, musician, actor, the first and best representative of rockabilly, was born in 1935 on the 8th of January in Mississippi State in Tupelo City. But Elvis lived in Memphis from his childhood till the end of his life. He died at the age of 42 in 1977. Elvis Presley had a twin brother whose soul had changed his mind after birth and went back to his spiritual home, so Elvis had to take the material duties on his own, alone on the earth. From a Karma Astrological point of view, the twin pregnancies are always interesting because there can be so many spiritual and celestial reasons behind it. Sometimes it happens that a soul chooses more than one body, like twins, to accomplish a life plan, but sometimes there is a strong karmic reason behind it. The celestial plans and maps can be changed as the soul goes along and is closing to earth before the moment of birth, and it can happen that the soul changes its mind and decides to choose only one human life instead of two. So in these cases, the same soul takes its own path and lives forward in one human body. We cannot know which case of these refers to Elvis' story, but the moon in Pisces and the ascendant in Sagittarius with mutable quality can signify two closely intertwined souls or soul parts. Elvis always struggled with the lack of something that could complete his soul all his life. He sought for the transcendent, his missing soul part, the ethereal beauty of existence, because he knew that the universe is much more than a life on earth is able to show us. That's why he looked for the psychoactive things that affected his mind and soul, because he actually missed the spiritual charge and the refilling, the absolute unity feeling with the universe. The moon in Pisces refers to the most sensitive soul who can truly suffer from separation, loneliness, or losing the beloved ones. So that's why Elvis' health condition got much worse when he lost his mother and his wife left him. Elvis had strong personality by his Capricorn sun sign anyway. He had huge dreams and ambitions, and he could give so much energy and divine spark to his audience by his amazing instinctive talent and art. He wanted to look after everyone. He had global karmic goals too, signed by his North Node in Aquarius. He wanted something better for humanity, for us. Elvis Presley was born during a new moon phase. That means the soul started a brand new incarnation cycle, but his deep spiritual contents with Pisces moon and emotional trauma signed by the Scorpio chart ruler washed away his huge life plans and incarnation goals. Unfortunately, he left the earth too soon. He could live much longer if he had found his spiritual motivations through religion or happier private life and not burning out by the entertaining business. He gave the world too much from himself, but the energy refilling, the regeneration had been left behind and missed. We can suppose that the soul will come back sometime in the future when the soul finds a perfect time and space to continue its karmic duties, because there are a lot of wishes and desire that should be accomplished on earth. The new movie about Elvis' life has been shown in theaters recently, and its leading role was given to Austin Butler, the American young actor who is also extremely talented and energetic person like Elvis Presley was. The movie is absolutely serves Elvis' legacy that will remain still people remembers his art and cultural effects. Let's see the most interesting things about Elvis and Austin synchronicities. If we check the birthdays, Elvis was born on the 8th of January and Austin was born on the 17th of August. That is also 8 if we add the numbers, so both of their personalities are connected to the frequencies of 8. Both of them represents the emotional and spiritual depths and hates, material, success, cosmic wisdom and knowledge, and the number of their destinies is 9. That is the number of closing and starting at the same time. The 9 is the symbol of releasing wisdom, spiritual levels, and the highest cosmic frequencies. So both of them has spiritual power and leading qualities that needs to be successful on Earth. But a small difference is shown by the numbers, because the destiny number of Elvis comes from 27, that refers to a moon type, supersensitivity, and Neptunian unconditional love energies, and Austin destiny number comes from 36, that refers to extraordinary abilities to create something. As for Nikola Tesla, the smartest person on Earth, the 3, 6, and 9 are the numbers of the universe, and as for the ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras, the 6 is the number of creation. The asteroids that may refer to Elvis' life are the following: Elvis, Memphis, King, Butler, Parker, and Hawaii. That can be interesting because the first live via satellite had been arranged from Hawaii in 1973. More than 1 million people could see Elvis all over the world. If we check the asteroid list in Elvis' natal chart, we can discover the Memphis asteroid with his sun in Capricorn immediately, so the city of Memphis was absolutely the part of his celestial plan. The asteroid Elvis at the first degree of Scorpio had trine aspect 120 degree with the moon, 90 degree aspect with the north node and Venus, and there is a 30 degree karmic aspect between the moon and north node. The aspect pattern shows karmic contents and situations, emotional motivations with huge energy and tension, incarnation duties with fate in Aquarius and Venus. By that, Elvis could live happy life till the end. The North Node and Venus conjunction shows us that Elvis' celestial plan included happiness, material joys and success, love, commitment and loyalty, especially to his plans and karmic duties. When the first huge commercial breakout happened in 1956 by releasing the Heartbreak Hotel on a single all over the USA, the King asteroid went through the ascendant and the first house in his natal chart that symbolizes his life path and had an aspect pattern with Elvis and Memphis asteroid. Elvis got the nickname of King at that time. The aspect pattern indicated huge tension and motivation, celestial blessing, incarnation goals and material desires that had been absolutely come true those days. Elvis Presley paid attention to the world and cared about the Hungarians when the Hungarian Revolution and uprising happened in 1956. When Elvis sang the song Peace in the Valley on a radio show, he asked the Americans to help the Hungarians as much as they could. The astrological peculiarity is that the Hunia asteroid had just returned to his native position in Elvis' chart, touching his Venus and North Node. The Danubia asteroid had just arrived at his ascendant, and the Hungaria asteroid touched his Mars in those days. Between the asteroids there were sextile and tridecile aspects, and in the natal chart between the Mars and North Node there is the 108-degree aspect, the tridecile in an air element that signs powerful intellectual abilities, talent, faithful ingenuity and brilliance, cosmic knowledge that can be reached via modified state of consciousness, and shows the ability to open celestial channels. The Mars in Libra is the diplomat, the heroic knight who fights for the world peace, and the North Node in Aquarius refers to the karmic responsibilities that can advance the future of humanity, so Elvis would have had plenty more to do here on Earth. And what's more, during those days, the moon in progression illuminated the ascendant and Danubia, and Jupiter showed up there in solar arc direction that represented the universal truth among other things. Anyway, in Elvis' horoscope, the Veritas and Apophis asteroids were around the ascendant that indicated extremely strong sense of justice. Elvis was very hurt by injustice, helplessness, vulnerability. He had subconscious fears of disasters by natural forces and drastic changes, which is also interesting because when Thomas Andrew Parker showed up in his life, the Parker asteroid touched the IC axis point and the Aries Centaur, that is the symbol of drastically changing external conditions, chaos, strife, disorder and distraction in karma astrology. Tom Parker had seen the business opportunity in Elvis' talent, so he assigned himself as Elvis' manager quickly. Parker sold Elvis' time and art to hotels and earned a huge amount of money. He lived in hotels in luxury till 1981 when the Court of Justice confiscated his illegally obtained fortune. A natal chart, a horoscope always continues to spin and live on after finishing a life on Earth, especially if there are still people who remember and deal with the spiritual heritage and legacy of a person. Elvis' legacy has been come up again by the movie about Elvis that was shooting from the beginning of 2020 with starring of Austin Butler. It is not a surprise that the Butler asteroid went through Elvis' sun in his horoscope, and the Elvis asteroid touched his Uranus and Pallas in Karmic cage with the North and South nodes. So the fateful success and fame has returned, and the King asteroid was at the future marker MC axis point during making of the Elvis movie. What's more, Elvis' horoscope had new moon phases in progression over his fourth house in Aries, as if the past reloaded itself to open a brand new perspective from the past. Let's see the horoscope of Austin Butler as well. There are also fascinating points of interest. He was born at a time of Sun-Jupiter conjunction in Leo that promises super success for him. The moon in Sagittarius in the 7th house symbolizes the soul who gives extra energies, enthusiasm and divine glow to the world, but the chart ruler, the Venus, has deeper contents because it is retrograde, and the Mercury next to it is also retrograde in Virgo. These archetypes are wounded in the 4th house, that is the field of past lives. That means that the huge success and fame is a karmic tool of developing being better in communication and self-respect. Austin has to learn how to appreciate himself even if he is criticized by others. The Memphis asteroid is exactly on his Mars and Astrea in his horoscope. That is the symbol of fate changing and karma breaking, so the role of Elvis and his character absolutely represent the power of fate changing in Austin's life. As we can see, the King asteroid is next to the past lives marker IC axis point, and the Elvis asteroid was standing next to Pallas at the moment of his birthday, in trine with the future marker MC axis point, having 60-degree aspect with Moon, that is the soul itself in a horoscope. So it was a huge opportunity for Austin to grab his luck and create amazing things with celestial blessing that was absolutely grabbed by him, fortunately. At the time of filming, the Memphis asteroid went through his Venus and Mercury, so the wounded archetypes were supposed to be healed by taking and playing this role. The King asteroid just stepped into Libra, Elvis moved into Taurus, so they had 150-degree karmic aspect for a while, and it is also interesting that the Butler asteroid was around the North Node in Austin's horoscope. Sometimes the past can be overwritten in human relationships by taking on others' roles, like family setting or horoscope setting methods, when the souls help and heal each other. It is a rhetorical question whether the relationship of Elvis and Butler could be settled in this way or not, but their souls probably have to come back to arrange and finish their story. Austin horoscope absolutely shows the success of the movie and his personal success. The Uranus on the future marker MC point in solar arc direction shows the sudden fame, the huge success and fate that indicates his healing process. At the time of the movie premiere, the moon in progression was over his North Node, so it was faithful for him. But let's see the two horoscopes together, the synastry as well. The inside you can see Austin's horoscope and outside Elvis' natal chart. We can see that Elvis' sun is exactly on Austin's North Node and Juno in Capricorn, so the lifelong loyalty and commitment to something or someone appears on the consciously committed destiny duties, especially to fate, to serve Elvis' legacy. The North Node of Elvis is on the Saturn of Austin opposite to Chiron in karmic aspect with the Venus and Mercury, so the karma showed up again, and the emphasis of the 4th house refers to past lives. Usually archaeologists and historians has full of 4th house, but in Austin's horoscope the Sun-Jupiter conjunction in Leo indicates mainly the intention to shine, self-realization and initiative life situations. I wish Austin Butler all the best things that he would like to have. Happy birthday to him and much success henceforward too. And thank you for your attention. If you like this video, like on it, comment it and subscribe my channel. Have a nice day. Love you. Bye bye.